let's get started once again. This is Blessings from the Dragon, and we meet here every Wednesday. On Saturdays, it's Questions for the Dragon, and today it is Blessings for the Dragon. The difference is Questions for the Dragon on Saturdays is open to any general questions or guidance needed or understandings that people are trying to reach about working with dragon energies or Jadon Se's guidance, etc. And Blessings from the Dragon is more about a group energetic that's happening. Group blessings, group activations, very much less personal, and more of a this is what's happening on the planet, in the cosmos these days. So before we get started shouting out to everyone here, let's just do a few announcements. The first announcement is that the classes for December are still taking enrollments at this time. We're not going to do the level 2 classes until there's enough of you who have gone through level 1 to make that worthwhile. So we have a December set of level 1 classes. So if you missed out on signing up for the November classes, which are in progress, we've done 2 out of the 4 classes so far this November. If you missed out on signing up, please sign up for the December classes. And we have a special request, and that is we have a number of students that are signing up for free, and that is wonderful. We love helping. However, we can't do classes if they're all free. We're not going to be able to sustain. So if you are in a place of abundance and you would like to help us support those who would like free personal readings and free classes, please do support us. We could do this through buymeacoffee.com/Jadon Se. There's a link below. You can do it by buying and promoting our app. That helps us support free classes and free readings and all that. Of course, all messages from the Dragon and most of the YouTube channel is 100% free content. We want to keep it that way. We just need to be able to sustain this. It takes a lot of time to do all this stuff, and otherwise we're going to have to go back to our day gigs and cut down on how much time we spend doing this until the golden age is really off to a roaring start for us as well as you. So if you are in a position of financial abundance and you wish to support us, you can do this by sending donations. You can help promote our app, and you can also join as a member of our YouTube. There's a little join button on the YouTube channel, and that gives us a small amount of monthly support from each of you, which is wonderful. The more the merrier. And this allows us to do free classes and free readings for those who are financially limited at this time, or just can't allocate any sort of money to that sort of thing, but really want to join. So if you want to support your fellow dragon workers, dragon keepers, please support in one of those ways. So that kind of covers. All the links are in the description here, and so you can follow the links to the app, the links to donating and personal readings help us as well. So very good. That's pretty much it for announcements. And let's do some shout outs. And yes, of course, you can also send supers here. Those are little, when you just send little gifts and super chat donations that way through YouTube, that helps as well. So thank you very much for any of you who are supporting. I see we have a new member. A lot of love. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Okay, so let's start doing some shout-outs. Okay, sorry for the technical issues. We're still working on getting the very best audio equipment that we can for this, so we'll work on that. We'll continue to work on it. Okay, very good. So we are here today from different parts of this beautiful Gaia, so please shout out where you are in the world right now, and it's really wonderful to feel everyone coming in from all over this beautiful planet. So please let us know, where are you? We have Anatolia, Turkey in the house. We have Chile in the house. We have Groves, Texas, Folsom, California, Utah is in the house, South Africa is in the house, Thailand is in the house, London, England, Faro, Portugal, Amsterdam, Netherlands, Tyrol, Australia, beautiful, Florida, USA, we have Cape Town, South Africa, Queensland, Australia, Massachusetts, beautiful. Do you guys feel the connections of the dragon energies here? Holland, beautiful. Okay, so Ardmore, Oklahoma, and we hear that there were Aurora Borealis seen last night in Oklahoma, of all places. That's amazing, isn't it? New Hampshire, beautiful. Yes, and Jadon Se will have something to say about those solar energies that are coming in. Okay, very good. Well, let us then just drop into channel and we will see what Jadon Se has to say to everyone here. Stand by as I tune in. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is a Blessings from the Dragon session. On every Wednesday we meet to do this. Today is a very special gathering, let us say. We have Belgium checking in. A little late to the party, Belgium, but we are glad you are here. That must be Leuven. It is beautiful to have you all here. And, dear ones, it is important to understand that many are speaking these days of your run-of-the-mill X-class solar flares. These are the largest of the solar flares, and many are saying, well, this is normal for the high point of a solar cycle and all this. Dear ones, all of these are communications and blessings from your dear Archaea, Helios, Sol, Solaris, the beautiful being so to speak. This is not just a run-of-the-mill conversation with your star, you could say. This all began when your Andronalf, 3-Eye Atlas, briefly, let us say, took a way stop, or a respite behind your sun. Things happened that were unseen there, and many were seen and just not reported. Your Andronalf had what we call a conversation with the sun, and this opened up portals of blessings from the greater cosmos coming in at this time. We have spoken of this as being somewhat like a baby shower for the ascension of your Gaia, and for this beginning of this golden age, a showering of energy, so to speak. And yes, dear ones, over the last 3 and 4 of your days, as you reckon things, a series of X-class solar flares. They are the largest on the scale of your scientific measures. These pops and crackles from the surface of your sun, seemingly, dear ones, it comes from deep within the cosmos through your sun, but that's another matter. These have, each of them, immediate blessings that does not take time for all of the blessings to reach you. The moment that these crackles happen, you might say, these portal openings, there is an immediate feeling and knowingness amongst every being on this your Gaia, and indeed in your entire solar system, for these blessings also are reaching the other planets, and let us just say floating cities throughout your system that are present. And dear ones, it is a little bit like there is a great celebration happening and a voice just came on the loudspeaker to announce the festivities. If you imagine having a fireworks display, and there is also a loudspeaker system with music and announcements accompanying the fireworks, it is very much like this. And what is happening right now, dear ones, is not only are there blessings that happen immediately, there are also waves of blessing that come. And from this moment of your reckoning, there was in your last night period, some of you are in darkness right now. There was, let us say, two of these waves. One caught up to the other, and they both crested upon your Gaia at almost precisely the same time. And this had an amplification effect, you might say. It was not happenstance. This was planned, dear ones. These waves both arrived on your shores, so to speak, at the same time. And yes, there were beautiful fireworks in your sky, you might say, auroras seen in your southern latitude regions. Many of you are aware of this and went out and found dark places away from city lights and saw beautiful auroras. Your Stephen and Stephanie went up a nearby hill, and though they could only barely see a little bit of color in the sky in the north, their cameras picked up auroras. And this is simply that they were, let us say, the Pacific coast was a little late to the party. By the time it was fully dark, most of the energetics had already come through, so to speak. There are those of you who are astonished to see auroras in places like your Oklahoma, Colorado, and Kansas, etc. And this is where the most, let us say, energetic display happened at the right time, was in your middle states of the North America. There are many of you who have seen these auroras from your various locations on the planet. And yes, dear ones, there are southern auroras as well, for those of you, as you say, down under. And it is beautiful because this was simply the beginning of this spectacle. You might say, if you think of this as fireworks, there are often times they start off with a bang, and then the little fireworks start to happen a little here, a little there, and then there is this grand finale, you might say, or beautiful display where the fireworks reach a peak. And dear ones, this is approaching you in the next few hours. The second, or we should say the third, but the second display of these fireworks, the third wave from your sun, the largest of the three, is approaching. It is nearly at your world at this moment. And those of you who are in places of darkness, especially away from the cities, will be given a treat. And you do not need to see these auroras to have them affect you. For some of you, these energies are striking during daylight hours. For some of you, there is cloud cover and stormy weather, and it is not easy to see the auroras. You do not have to see them, even if you go onto your devices and see shared images from other beings who are witnessing these beautiful displays. You can enjoy them this way as well, for when something happens to humanity, it enters the human field. Many of you call this the morphogenetic field. It is your Rupert Sheldrake who lovingly brought this to everyone's attention, that there is this human field, and it has been real since before he noticed it, but it is beautiful. You can tune into his talks about it if you wish. And dear ones, when any one human is having a beautiful moment of awe, that energy ripples out to the rest of humanity. And this is why we shout out at the beginning of our lives, so to speak, the location of everyone, and that you are all interconnected in this moment of now. For anything that comes through any one of you can be shared with everyone here on a very subtle energetic level. This is the same with these solar blessings. They are coming in right now, and again they are building up and will get stronger again very shortly. And beautiful it is. Let us say that these blessings carry an energetic for you. The energetic message in these is that it is almost over. Your current challenges, dear ones, are being resolved, and those that remain are soon to be resolved. Yes, dear ones, you are now much more in a position to look into the future with gladness and optimism, even though there is so much to be concerned about, and chaos and, let us say, upheaval happening on this your Gaia. There is this new energy. It is not coming from elsewhere. It has been summoned from within human consciousness. Dear ones, it is the changes within you that are bringing about these blessings, and you are calling these blessings forth. So many of you have been, let us say, tapping your foot for this golden age to really get going, and it is because of this that it is beginning to really get going, dear ones. It's almost over, this wait, this feeling of when will it get going, why are we waiting, what is happening, why are there still these inappropriate things happening on this world, when will they stop, when will they stop spraying these terrible things in our skies and stop enslaving us with debt with these terrible monetary systems that are not designed to bring abundance to everyone. And dear ones, the reason for the, let us call it a delay from your viewpoint, the reason why it is taking a little, let us say, startup period to really get going, this golden age, is because more and more of you are picking up your work, shining your light, let us say, embracing your life's purposes more fully. And dear ones, you are the vanguard, or part of the vanguard. Our group is not any more special than other groups of light workers. However, we add our energies and our specific understandings and wisdoms to the overall ascension. And dear ones, the more that you embrace your purpose, and the more that you encourage those around you, your loved ones, your co-workers, your acquaintances, to embrace their life's purpose, their real work here, the more this energetic opens a doorway for the golden age. And that door is already cracked open, and light and blessings are streaming through. And this is exactly what is being mirrored by your star, dear ones. Why is this happening? It is happening because your vibration is rising. Everyone here, yes, dear ones, your vibrations are all rising, and it is not because of these solar activations. It is that because your vibration is collectively rising, the sun is starting to have, let us say, a conversation with this greater awareness of beingness that is here in your human morphogenetic field. It is very beautiful. Dear ones, please understand that this is just the start. This is not the high point of anything. These beautiful solar blessings are like the original beginning, let us say, fireworks of this beautiful display, the celebration amidst the cosmos that is happening right now. The festivities are just getting started, dear ones. And as I had mentioned earlier, some weeks ago in your reckoning, Your three-eye atlas, Andronalf, is not alone. There are others following, and yes, Andronalf is not leaving. You may notice it disappearing from view for a while. People will scratch their heads and wonder where it has gone. It is not always visible at all times, and dear ones, it is staying. It is taking up an orbit outside your Mars, inside what you call the asteroid belt, the remnants of your Tiamat, beautiful world of all the histories of this system floating around out there. And dear ones, the energetic blessings will continue. More visitors are arriving. You had another object that your scientists were fixated on. They called it another Borisov, and dear ones, it disappeared. Every new visitation will have something new that will be even more of a head-scratcher for your hard-headed scientists. They will each have some sort of, let us say, gentle nudge that these are not just natural rocks floating around, popsicles from the cosmos just happening by. These are, dear ones, visitations of your greater star families coming to celebrate the Ascension. And because this type of disclosure must happen very gently to avoid panic and these programs that have been prepared to make everyone afraid of an invasion from aliens and this and that. Dear ones, your star families are very wise. They know how to avoid these sorts of deceptions from the dark ones who are still trying to cling on to their power here. And so they will becoming gradually to visit, and each one will have something that will be obvious about how this cannot be just a natural thing. Dear ones, comets do not appear and then vanish and appear from trajectories that cannot be from this solar system. This will continue, these sightings. This dragon has let you know that your three-eye Atlas Andronalf will be followed by 7 more. Now you have had your second visible visitor. There are many, let us say, hidden visitors who are already here. We are not speaking of them. We are speaking of the ones that are revealing themselves to your hard-headed scientists and 3D telescope watchers and all of this. Dear ones, this will continue, and it will be at a measured and comfortable pace. And as this happens, each will, let us say, precipitate more of these beautiful solar fireworks, these beautiful energetic blessings from your star. It will continue, dear ones. You have not missed the party if you did not see anything last night, and if you do not see anything tonight in your skies, do not worry, dear ones. You are still being blessed. And what sorts of blessings are these? Your template is coming more and more online. Yes, dear ones, your entire human template, the divine human template, 12-stranded DNA, each with a substrand, 12 substrands to be perfectly clear. Yes, dear ones, your DNA has up to 144 aspects to it, each with its own gifts, and more and more of these are coming alive, so to speak, waking up within you. This is not junk DNA. You are not misusing a certain percent of your brain cells or ignoring them. No, dear ones, it just was not the right divine timing for them to be used and utilized and awakened, so to speak. Well, dear ones, your human template is waking up, and these blessings, each as they come in, are like waves on the shore. As the tide rises, they go a little further up the beach, and it is like this. It is There will not be one grand blessing that does everything in a single moment. It will be gradual and beautiful, dear ones. And at some point you will realize that you are in a new reality, and that this new reality is continuing to get better and better, and then you will really realize that this golden age is here, is happening. Dear ones, it is right now. It is simply that like the tide rising, when it first starts to come up, it is not always as obvious, and then as the tide really starts to come in, then at certain points it becomes more and more obvious that the waters are rising, these beautiful waters of blessing. Dear ones, because your vibration is rising, this is happening. And the more that you do this, the more that you tune into energies that help you to awaken greater aspects of your beingness, greater awareness within you, greater feelings within your heart, all of this, and most importantly, the coherence of your heart and mind working as best friends. The more you do this, the more you will see wonders and signs and beautiful things happening. The more you will see new systems coming online, new inventions that will make life more abundant and more easy, new financial systems appearing that are equitable and fair and not based on lack like they have been, not based on enslavement and deception. They will be beautiful systems that support life, support the building of your dreams. Dear ones, it is happening, and this your son is making sure that nobody misses it, let us say. Even the most skeptical among you cannot deny what is happening in your skies these days, and this is the purpose behind these blessings. This is beautiful. Stephen is a little bit sheepish because due to these sound issues, he neglected to introduce his beloved, the love of his life, dearest Stephanie. Welcome to you, Stephanie.
Hello.
She is here, and it is beautiful to have all of you gathered at this moment. So let us focus any communications that come through the chat. Let them be focused not so much on your own personal questions or desires, and a little more of what the group can use in terms of blessings or understandings or clarifications. So if you have something to chime in with, please type into the chat in uppercase to get our attention what is happening. And if you wish to share about any auroras you have seen in the sky or understandings about these solar events, please chime in with this as well. We welcome your questions and thoughts, dear ones. While we are waiting for this, we will just say that your, let us say your oracle deck, there is a little movement on this in terms of the physical version. There will be a physical version. This is an energetic preparation for this. It requires a little extra effort to have these printed and distributed throughout the world. And so we are being deliberate with this, and thank you for your patience. We do also highly recommend the app, this Oracle deck that appears on your devices in your pocket, for my voice is in that app, and it is helpful to play these for those of you around you to see whether or not there are those of you, those of your family or acquaintances, people that you did not think work with dragon energies, may suddenly come alert when you play my voice on this app, and they draw a card and get a reading. There will be a few that you did not realize are dragon workers. They are those who awaken to dragon energies, and this deck can wake them up, so to speak. So do not be afraid to play these little card readings for them, and allow those around you to draw cards, dear ones. You can have great fun with this.
I see Kuba has a question, request. Jadon Se, thank you. Can you assist us with a blessing of deep grace for our journey here?
Grace. What is grace, dear ones? It is... I hope none of you are annoyed that this dragon always picks the question apart. For it is always, or at least most often, comes with a gift within it when you pick words and questions apart. And this word grace, deep grace, grace for the journey. Do you feel into this question, dear ones? There is wisdom bubbling out of this person who goes by Kulba. The question alone shows an understanding that deep grace in our journey is what is needed. Gracefulness is the balance between heart and mind. This is what you see when you see a beautiful ballet dancer just doing pirouettes and beautiful movements, and their bodies arcing across the stage in graceful ways. This is almost universally understood as grace. And why is it understood? They make it look so easy. They make it flow so naturally. And how is it that it looks so easy and natural? It is because that entire being is aligned with the dance. The mind, the heart, the sinews, the muscles, everything is coordinated together. And when it all works together like that, it looks so easy and natural and beautiful, dear ones. This is grace. Grace is an alignment of self. All of the different aspects of self. And you can include your soul, your spirit, your greater beingness. You can include your body. You can include your story, your life story, your backstory, all of your abilities and understandings, and yes, even your education, your everything that has happened, that has coalesced in being you, let us say, is all present, and let us say focused on the journey. Dear one, this question is so beautiful. Thank you for bringing this to everyone. This is how this gathering is so powerful, for all of you are wise in your own ways. Your questions themselves create awakenings in those around you, and this is how you are what we call way showers, showing the way into this golden age, into this ascension, by just being you with this deep grace, this ease, this just ease into beingness. Relax into your own beingness. Yes, dear ones, it looks like sometimes that ballet dancer looks very tense and flexed or whatever, but there is a deep relaxation behind this. This is how these alignments occur. It is a flow, dear ones. It is a natural flow, a lining up of your energies, for they are all flowing together. There is a saying, it is not the most graceful word, so to speak. I am not trying to be too silly here, but the word coherence, it seems a little, let us say, forced. Coherence. It cohered. It did not cohere to the... I will not be too silly about this. However, Coherence, dear ones, if you understand it, hopefully in a more elegant language than English where it sounds so strange, but coherence is when there is a deep flow. Let us look for a moment at a laser. In one hand, you have what someone from your times gone past would call a flashlight, or if you're in Britain or somewhere, you call it a torch, an electric torch. It is, let us say a handheld light that shines light out from it, and your old school or even modern LED flashlights, they are emitting a light that is colliding with itself. It is scattering, let us say. If you think of light as a wave or a particle, then you are trying to be scientific, and it is fine. We can use this for a moment. It can be useful to think of this way, even though light is so much deeper than this. But let us just say that there are these things called photons that are streaming out from your flashlight, from your torch, and they are all going at various speeds and not exactly in the same direction, and they are bumping into each other. And it is like when you play billiards and you break the breakup of the balls, and they all go scattering in different directions when the white ball, the cue ball, crashes into them. And it is like this in one way of thinking, that the light is scattering. It is incoherent. It is just scattering. And then you have this laser, dear ones. And if you think again of these as little photons or little BBs shooting out of this thing, it's so crude to say it this way. However, it is instructive to know that the light is flowing. It is aligned. And all of these, if you think of them as photons, are going out at relatively the same speed and direction. They are not bumping into each other. They are all focused very tightly into a beam that is coherently going forth. And this is just one way of understanding the flow of grace. It is like this. When everything in your beingness is relaxed and going out at a gentle flow, let us say, at a natural flow, then you are in a state of coherence. You are in a state of grace. Please, someone with a different language than what Stephen uses, please come out with a better word for coherence in maybe perhaps Spanish or French or something, a language that is not so incoherent. It is crashing, these words, these sounds are crashing into each other. Coherence. Sorry, I am not trying to downplay English. It is a beautiful language full of gifts. And that is what we are doing. We are mining for gifts in the language. Thank you very much, Kulba, for this. This understanding is in itself a deep blessing. To understand that you relax into your own beingness, your own greater truth, who you are, who you feel you are, not just who you think you are, who you truly are. And as you flow with this, your resonance, your vibration is graceful. And be true to yourself, be authentic, and you will be in a state of grace. That is your blessing. Is there another one, dearest Stephanie?
There is. A lot of love is asking the 144,000. Can you please explain that a bit more?
Dear ones, there are many beautiful stories surrounding this your Gaia. A very beautiful story is a dear one in the epochs of Gaia, named Sanat Kumara, who you might say is one of the Chohans in this story, one of the proponents for golden ages of humanity, for the Ascension, for humanity to reach its greatest expressions, its highest good, its highest timeline, so to speak. And in this story, this Sanat Kumara came with 144,000 light beings who agreed to descend onto this Gaia, into your 3 and 4D existence, and even originally into the 5 and 60 perfected humans, let us say, these beings, their mission in this story is to be those who are champions for the highest timelines for humanity, the original light workers, you might say. And hands equaling 144, and so there are deep encodings in this, your ages and epochs, even your grand procession of the equinoxes, this wobbling of your planet, so to speak, has 12 encoded in it, and 12 times 12 there are ages of 100 or 14,400, etc. The 144 comes up again and again, as does your number 72, due to its, let us just say 12 is a divine number. And it is no coincidence that so many of you look at the 12th dimension as a very special dimension with symbology of divinity and beautiful understandings. And all of these dimensions are mental constructs, dear ones. There are infinite dimensions, and it is just useful to speak of them in such a way from time to time. 4D, 5D, etc. They are mental constructs, a common lexicon, let us say, to discuss matters of density and understanding and vibrational state, let us say. It is important for you to understand that when you encounter the number 144, if you are, in your essence, here for a purpose that is in alignment with that mentioned of Sanat Kumara and the 144,000 light workers, the original light workers. There are not only 144,000 light workers on this planet, dear ones. There are millions of you, many of you star seeds, many of you awakened ones who, let us say, started out what you consider your story to be here, terrestrial humans awakening. There is no better or worse in terms of humanity, young or old souls or wise ones, etc. It is all these are all stories and roles, dear ones. You're playing roles in these grand stories. And the role of the village idiot and the role of the evil genius are not, you do not say that this role is better than that role or worse than that role. They are simply characters that make a story amusing or interesting, or antagonists for the heroes to confront, and all, whatever it is. It is, do not judge, dear ones. It is, when you judge, you are just pointing 3 fingers back at your own self. It is best to understand that every being you encounter is playing an important and special role in the grand story of eternity. So let us not get caught up in whether a light worker is more wise or advanced than, say, what some of you call a normie or a non-player character type or whatever. Let us not get caught up in these things. And it is so often the case that when one looks at this 144,000 that a light worker wants to puff themselves up on some level, and let us just refrain from doing that here. Everyone gathered here in this live stream, whatever this gathering you call this, is a light worker. You are here. You have been called here. It is not a coincidence that you are here. You are resonating with this golden dragon, and you are resonating with other those gathering here, and you are resonating with Gaia's interest in this. It is all beautiful and as it should be.
Okay, I see Michael Petronella Could a blessing be given to fortify the healing and ascension of Gaia and all beings a part of her?
Dear ones, let us not just look to a cosmic golden dragon to shower blessings upon you every Wednesday. Let us understand how we can bless Gaia, each of us, in every day, of every moment, of every presence of your consciousness, your awareness, in every moment of now, we call it. You have an opportunity to bless Gaia and all beings, yes, as part of her. And, dear ones, you all each have your own blessings to give that are every bit as potent and special and needed as any blessing a golden dragon could shower upon you from the third arc of consciousness. And so, let us tune in then on how we can be of assistance and bless Gaia, each of us. Each of you has, let us say, a special relationship with Gaia. And if you think of your own special relationship with a parent or a sibling, perhaps you are the older sister, kind of like the second mom, and then you have this ability to bless them when the parents are not there and the younger ones get scared or feel unsure about something. The older sister might stand up and be like, oh, well, this is all fine. I'm here and I'll make sure everything is good and we're all safe. And they can be a great blessing in that way because they are the older sister. And you can see that that is a very unique and special blessing to be the older sister in that situation. And dear ones, each of you has a different relationship with those around you, including your Gaia. And because of that relationship, you have the unique ability to give blessings as appropriate from your authentic beingness. And simply being in a place is a blessing. Your vibrational essence is blessing places. This is what we might call unconscious grid work. And each one of you has been doing at least the unconscious grid work. Many of you are doing more and more conscious grid work. Those of you especially in the Dragon Energies classes working with the Dragon lines. Dear ones, you each have so many blessings to bring. Do not write them off. They are not to be, let us say, underestimated for their importance to eternity. Every sunset that you smile at smiles back at you, for you have completed it from where you stand, from your moment of now. Every dolphin that you gaze into the eyes of sparkles and gazes back at you, for you have completed that connection with that dolphin in your own very special way, just as that dolphin is so special in that moment to you. Do you understand? There are no normal moments. There are no average moments. Everything is an opportunity to be a blessing. Every moment, every breath. And when you carry this awareness, you are able to bless Gaia continuously, dear one. Perhaps this awareness is itself a blessing.
Okay, I see Rosa is asking for a blessing for all the people that still press our buttons as they are helping us to learn about ourselves.
Dear one, your question itself shows that you are working very well through this, realizing that they are helping you to learn about yourself, for us to learn about ourselves. And yes, dear ones, even that person who appears to push your buttons, so to speak, is learning something from that experience. Sometimes it seems like looping. Sometimes it is just a dance that, say, two lovers do to push each other's buttons, or to one has buttons and one has triggers, or whatever it is. It is sometimes a dynamic that happens and it seems to repeat over and over. This is in itself a gift. If you feel like something is repeating, it is just gathering its force to show you more clearly how you need to get beyond that, let us say, misunderstanding or opportunity to grow, how to break through, if you wish to say it in a yang sort of way, or how to feel into, in a yin kind of way, the masculine and the feminine methods of understanding things and moving through and growing with things. And you can do both simultaneously. You can break out and dive within, feel it, into it at the same time. And there is no right or wrong way for each of you to learn from, let us say, difficult situations or something that pushes your button. It is an opportunity for you to grow, and for you to grow perhaps by forgiveness, perhaps by breaking out of frustration. You might call it breaking out, and dropping into forgiveness or understanding or compassion, or wisdom, or seeing past what is happening, what is behind what is happening. If there is a person getting nasty with you in a grocery store, the part of you will respond on that level and do what you do to either diffuse the situation or spit it back in their face, or whatever it is that comes up for you on that level. Beneath this level, dear ones, there is an opportunity to become aware. Why is this happening? Is this an opportunity for me to understand something more deeply? Is this an opportunity for me to help this other person be seen? Perhaps this person is acting out because it is a cry for help. Perhaps they just need someone to see them in that moment. Perhaps they are trying to chop off the heads of others so that they stand a little taller because they are feeling small and they are not feeling tall. And perhaps you can just brush that aside, that they are trying to chop off all these other heads, and just see that this is a being in pain, and that this is a being who might just need to be seen on some level and understood, and is feeling so very misunderstood, I should say. It is for you to feel into whether or not this is an opportunity to grow. And what is growth? Growth is being of service to your own timeline, to Gaia, perhaps to the person you are helping to heal in some way, helping them grow. Being of service. Is there an opportunity for this button-pushing episode to be of service somehow? Now there is a question, and hopefully a blessing.
I see Lanny Valentine has a question. Dear Jadon Se, can you provide guidance on how we can expand and share our light and consciousness? I have been guided to visualize expanding my love and light in rainbow waves to surround the earth.
Dear ones, each of you has your own way of expanding your own light, your own consciousness. There are those of you who are highly creative, artists, and those who can draw beautiful scenes and can give a gift to humanity of these creations. And each person who gazes upon this art has an opportunity to grow in consciousness in some way. And this is a beautiful expansion and gift in an artistic, creative way. There are those of you who are builders, who build beautiful, even buildings and places, gardens, beautiful fountains and places of beauty, who are very, let us say, able to expand consciousness of those who visit these places. There are those of you who guide meditations and lead those of you around you through meditations, and you are helping them to expand within and expand their awareness and consciousness. There are those of you who sit in meditation yourselves, regularly and expand your awareness, yourselves, in that way. There is no one way or right way or wrong way. Rainbow energies is a beautiful way. Some are expanding their gifts and service by sewing garments and crocheting, and some of you are helping those around you to relax and find their own grace by playing petanque or bocce ball or croquet out there in the yard with others, or playing a nice friendly game of chess. Or there are so many ways that each of you can not only expand your own awareness, but help others to find their grace, ease, and an opportunity to expand their awareness with ease and grace, and with such a way that they are able to take in these lessons and expansions and do not reject them. If you try to force someone to understand that contrail in the sky is actually chemicals being sprayed upon them, and you try to force them into this awareness and to understand that this needs to be addressed for us to clean up this Gaia and move into this golden age, some might be able to expand their awareness and understand this, and many will just reject it outright and put up walls between themselves and you, for they think you are a kook or a crackpot or a conspiracy theorist or whatever it is. And so ease and grace is how we do this. Have an awareness and an understanding of those you are assisting, including your own beingness. Do not force yourself into the lotus position to meditate and make it so uncomfortable that you cannot meditate because you have in your somehow in your mind that this is the only way to do this. No, find an ease and a grace, a way that works for you to do this. Perhaps you can reach this lotus position at some point, but do not let us not force things, dear ones. That is the best blessing of all, is relax into this. Do not force. Influence, do not control.
Okay, I see Tevin Smith is asking, if every soul carries its own unique geometric signature, a pattern of light and sound that defines its essence, how are we a fractal of source?
Well, this is a very mind-based technical question about spirit. And Tevin, it is beautiful that you have these understandings for your Metatron, gifting the universe in all levels of creation with sacred geometries, and the understanding of vibratory essence of reality or beingness, let us say, vibrational signatures, geometric signatures. All of these are beautiful understandings. They are partial understandings, dear one. There is something missing from this question, and that is feeling. It is a very dry and mental question, and in this question, then, is an opportunity for you and for everyone to understand that the feeling aspect is where you are going to understand with a greater completeness, let us say, or ease and grace, that fractals. Let us just look at a fractal. What is a fractal? For those of us who are not as intellectual and speaking with these sorts of words, let us just review what a fractal is. A fractal is a geometric or mathematical formula that repeats over and over within itself, and it is infinitely repeating. So if you dive into an artwork that is generated by fractals, that is, let us say, a mathematical geometry that is expressed in a graphic, and you zoom in on that graphic and you see little details within that graphic, the overall pattern is mirrored in those little details. And if you zoom in on those little details, the overall pattern repeats in those little details again and again. So no matter which dimensional reality you look at this fractal from. The same pattern repeats over and over and is seen over and over again. So this is what is meant by fractal realities when applied to a soul or a beingness or a consciousness. The idea is it is trying to explain that as above, so below, etc., where if you are a divine being with this beautiful essence, you might be a fractal of that being down in the third dimension or the fifth dimension, and you are essentially the same vibrational being in these different dimensions. And this is very natural to a dragon, for a dragon can move up and down through any of these realms and remain a dragon. And it is very similar to these fractal realities. So the question is, how are we a fractal of Source? Well, dear one, let us use the rest of our faculties that are not only intellectual and feel into this. Drop into your heart, dear one, and there is a connection that can happen. When the heart and the mind line up, and let us say all the body centers come online, line up, there is a pathway, you might say, where you can ride this pathway or travel this pathway to a greater awareness of self. Many refer to this as the Christ within. The Christ can be seen as a consciousness. The Christ can be seen as a portal or a doorway or a pathway or a means to expand awareness of unity. Dear one, feel into this. Your mind is very apt and able to express mentally and intellectually these concepts. And now there is an opportunity for you to travel your heart corridors, your feeling, to feel the rest of this. Your understanding is partial until you feel reality. This is the difference between understanding and realization, dear ones. Understanding is a mental grasp of something. I understand how to get from here to Dallas, Texas. I understand what the skyline of Dallas, Texas looks like and what the general economy is of Dallas, Texas, and what the weather and climate are and the animals that live there and all this. It is an entirely different thing to go to Dallas, Texas, dear one. You do not have a realization of Dallas, Texas until you have stood there and experienced it and lived it and breathed it and smelled it and felt into its beings. Do you see where this is going? An understanding that is mental is incomplete. It is useful. It is like a roadmap. Very useful in guiding and in having a mental construct of something. However, it is incomplete until realization takes hold. And the realization happens with your greater faculties. Feel into the answer of how the creative source is fractalized in your own beingness. Travel through the Christ corridor within you, within your heart, within your beingness, and you will answer this question for yourself.
Lasu is asking for a blessing for those on a dark night of the soul.
Dearest one, it is very difficult for many of you along your journey who are, let us say, experiencing pain, sorrow, difficulty, sense of separation, loneliness, and whatever it is that accompanies these feelings is almost always a sense of separation from Source, separation from Spirit, even separation from your own higher spirit, your own greater self, so to speak. And there is always a gift in this. It is not always something to be rejected, this dark night of the soul. For if you simply refuse to experience it, perhaps you have come on purpose to experience this so-called dark night of the soul. Perhaps there is something for the greater growth of your beingness to gain from this understanding and from this realization of the dark night of the soul. And if it is just simply rejected and shirked away from, or just retreated from, let us say, then it is like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Where is the gift in it? It is very important to understand that anything that is going on in your reality right now is what you need to experience on some level, what you are, you have an opportunity to grow from. And this is very helpful, especially when things seem very dark or lonely or, let us say, scary in some way, or disheartening, you might even say. Let us just take this as an opportunity to grow. And as we do, oftentimes it is, say, the child who is afraid of the dark, and you are camping, and you take them out of the tent where they have their flashlight and their little light, and they feel safe and cozy in the tent. You take them out into this dark night, and there may be a little campfire going or something, and the child is afraid. I do not wish to leave this tent. It is dark out there. And then you lovingly pull their chin upward, and they see the stars for the first time, and they realize, I could not have seen these stars were it not for the dark. I cannot see them when the sun is blazing and the sky is blue, and I cannot see this. I cannot experience this without the darkness. And so, dear one, feel into your experience and understand that whatever it is you are going through is an opportunity to see some greater beauty of eternity, whether this is the beauty of your own deep feelings or the beauty of an opportunity to help in some way or to grow in some way. This is the blessing of the dark night of the soul, that the darkness is here to reveal the beauty of the light. I hope this helps. Are there other questions?
I don't see any other questions right now.
Okay, we are perhaps out of questions. We are not really out of time. There's no such thing as being out of time. However, in respect for those of you who might have other plans, we will bring this to a close. We had just passed during that message your 1222. Perhaps one or two of you took note of this. Let us look. I see one last thing here. Is it okay if we switch off and play video games or watch meaningless shows at sometimes? Dear one, it is more than okay for you to relax and have downtime. This is like a question that says, is it okay for me to climb into bed and shut off my awareness for a while and dream? Of course it is okay. There is a time and a place for everything and every experience. And dear ones, sometimes synchronicities and messages from the divine, awarenesses and understandings can come from the most quote-unquote mundane experiences. You might be just buttering your bread in the morning or something, and suddenly you have a flash of awareness, and it was because of the state of your beingness at that moment. It wasn't the bread and the buttering that did this for you. It was the energy you carried at that moment. Perhaps it was the first time for a while that you had switched off your mind, so to speak, or calmed down or quieted down or what have you. So, dear ones, feel into this. Ask your own inner beingness, is it okay for me to have a glass of wine or to play a video game right now or to watch a rerun of some ancient TV show episode or something? of course, your heart will let you know whether or not this is a problem or whether or not this is beautiful. There is something, it is interesting that people call these certain foods comfort foods, and it is oftentimes the ones that people think are the worst for their body or will put some weight on their butt or something, and it is so comforting though to have that food. There is something about it. What is it? Maybe it reminds you of being at grandma's house, your grandmother, a place of safety and wisdom and comfort and yes, dear ones, there is a time and a place for every experience. This is why many of your wise ones throughout the ages say all things in moderation. It is the moderation part of it. If we just simply think that one glass of wine was wonderful, so why don't I just have another and another until the whole wine bottle is gone, then this is a different experience from just having a glass of wine. Do you see the difference? Of course you do. And of course it is fine to watch old reruns or just sit down and gaze at something for a while or play solitaire with your computer or something like this. Dear ones, do not beat yourselves up. A little comfort food will not make your butt too large. Very good. Stephanie got a little bit of a little giggle out of this. It is time for us to say that this had been a beautiful gathering, and as we love to do, we ask those of you who are still here who have not fallen asleep, wake up now. Please let us know where you are on the earth at this moment of now. We love this. We will shower ourselves with these energies. Shout it out. Where are you on this beautiful Gaia in this moment of now? We are, maybe everybody is asleep. Did I put all of you to sleep? Wake up. We want to know where you are from. Groves, Texas. 10 cinnamon rolls. Anatolia, Texas. Utah. Tyrol, Australia, the beautiful Alps, beautiful. London, England, Canada, very much appreciated, all of you. From Thailand, from Georgia, Florida, Amsterdam, Netherlands, from I don't know where that is, of beautiful Paso Robles, and South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, Boston, Massachusetts, Los Angeles, Portugal, Perth, Australia. Yes, we have both sides of Australia. Beautiful. South Africa, Cape Town, New Hampshire, Hungary. Yes, dear ones. Beautiful. Please share the dragon energies with those around you. Find those around you who are open to this. There is an opportunity to share this. I am in Queensland, the Great Dividing Range. Beautiful, dear ones. Yes. We look very much forward to working with you all. And any of you who have not had the level 1 class who are gathered on this gathering, it is quite appropriate for you to be getting deeper understandings from these classes. So please, even if you cannot afford it, yes, we will take on people who cannot afford the classes. This next class looks like it's a freebie for many people. Well, we will not complain. We are just saying that do not let it hold you back. Please join us. North Bend, Oregon. Hello, Mom. And yes, dear ones, we look forward to working with you in this Sunday's class and in the new set of classes that start on Stephanie's birthday, December 6th. Yes, those of you who wish to send her gifts, perhaps we will get a post office box or something, or you can send pictures or thoughts or whatever it is. We look forward to seeing all of you again very soon. Be blessed.